Patrick Bet-David from Valuetainment is sitting down with Ben Shapiro to talk about Iran, what Iran has planned, what Patrick Bet-David knows as someone who was born and spent his childhood in Iran, had to flee Iran. Patrick Bet-David is of Armenian and Assyrian descent, and he understands good and well what illegal immigration, what immigration from Islamic countries can do to a free capitalist democratic society. And he's going to go into it with Ben. Before we get into it, make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Follow me at Rafi the Realtor for all of your real estate needs in South Florida. And you can support the channel by going to the Buy Me a Coffee link in the pinned comment or description. Let's get into it.
Imagine a country that is gladly willing to kill its own people, and they use the threat that way to make sure you say nothing. They took our videos down off of YouTube. We got plenty of them taken down. So now imagine, let's go a level above that. What's above censorship? Killing you. That's what Iran does. They don't just censor you. They will kill you. So if you want to open your mouth and say something, we'll kill you. And then we'll publicly celebrate the fact that we took your life gladly because you gave a different opinion. Not take your voice away from you, not take your YouTube channel away from you. That's exactly what IRGC does.
Iranian Patrick Bet-David exposes what is really going
who just have a bizarre vision of what Iran is, what the regime actually is. So I wanted to ask you, because obviously you were born in Tehran, you grew up in Iran. There seems to be this bizarre notion that the rulers of Iran are, number one, rational actors, like extremely rational actors, and thus any deal that you cut with them will be predicated on some sort of decent founding, and two, are no threat to anybody else. Now, what do you make of the sort of pie-in-the-sky version of Iran that seems to be building? It seems to me you can make an isolationist argument even without making this argument, but there's been a bleed over, again, by people on the left and also on the right to suggest, well, is Iran really that bad? Like, what's really wrong over there?
And by the way, I think this is going to be a big topic of this discussion for 2028, 2027, where those running for president, what position you're going to take, non-interventionist or intervene. So to me, what you need to know is, imagine a country that is gladly willing to kill its own people, and they use the threat that way to make sure you say nothing. So here, they took our videos down. I don't know how many videos YouTube took down. They mentioned it the other day, 1 million videos on COVID they took down. Think about it, they took down 1 million videos off of YouTube. We got plenty of them taken down. How many strikes we got? How many times we couldn't go live? How many times that happened? Okay, so now imagine, let's go a level above that. What's above censorship? Killing you. That's what Iran does. They don't just censor you. They will kill you. So if you want to open your mouth and say something, we'll kill you. And then we'll publicly celebrate the fact that we took your life gladly because you gave a different opinion. Not take your voice away from you, not take your YouTube channel away from you. That's exactly what IRGC does. About 2 years ago, Ben, I brought the founder of Islamic Revolutionary Guard here. And he sat down with me, Morteza Al-Gharzi, some name like that. I had him on here. And when he came into our building at first, he's like, why does Patrick want to talk to me? And he was confused. So he sat down, I went right into it. He was the guy that was the opening voice to all the tapes that Ayatollah Khomeini would say. He was the opening voice, edifying Khomeini, and they would send those tapes into Iran, which caused the revolution, and eventually Iran fell. Shah's gone, Khomeini comes, and the rest is history. If you go and type in IRGC, who are the founders? It's Khomeini and this man right here that was with me. And yes, Sagara. And so I had him on, and I asked him a question. I said, hey, at the beginning, when you saw this happening, didn't you know this was bad? He says, at the beginning, I didn't. He says, I thought we were off to a good mission, and we were going to really take. He said, what ended up happening that changed? He said, I didn't think we were going to kill that many people. I said, you guys originally said that the Shah killed some 100,000 people, and you lied about it. He says, we did. I said, okay, how many numbers was it actually? It was actually less than 3,000. But the propaganda machine was so effective that it got everybody in Iran to believe that he was a bad guy, he was for the rich. We got rid of him. Well, from 1979 till today, what's happened to the Middle East? If you go and think about what the Middle East looked like in the 70s or the 60s, how many problems do we have with Iran? You don't have any problems with Iran. Iran wasn't causing the chaos that Iran is creating today after IRGC. So the same people that sit there and say, these are not bad actors, these are not bad people, it's us that's making Iran and Islam look like they're horrible human beings. It's not us doing it. No, it's 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 the marketing, and we're scaring people. You are playing with fire. It's the same people that said communism didn't work because they had bad leadership, and we can do it better in America. Socialism didn't work because they had bad leadership. We can do better in America. If there's a couple things I have zero tolerance, where I'm going to sit there and say it's okay. It's a zero tolerance for IRGC. Zero tolerance for them. Zero. And the only question then becomes, Ben, is the following. And here's the question. Where I have biases because I live there. I know these guys. I want them gone. But, the Americans who say, Pat, we have bigger problems to solve than get rid of IRGC. And that debate, Ben, you and I may differ in this. I actually think that's a fair debate for us as Americans to have, because some Americans may say, do we really want to spend our resources? We're starting to see what's going on right now in the world. Where Ukraine, nobody thought Ukraine was going to embarrass Russia with their drones. Did we think Ukraine was going to be able to last this long? Nobody did. And we realized warfare has changed. And Iran with their drones, the amount of headaches they're creating. Thank God this entrepreneur in America named Palmer Luckey, I don't know if you saw what he's doing. Palmer Luckey, they're creating all these drone weapons that they started recently. And I don't know what the valuation was, $100 billion, drone company in America. Thank God we're doing this, because warfare is going to be changing the next few years. But I think that's a fair debate. But in my position, I have the line here. If you try to cross the line to get me to think that IRGC people are good, nice people, let's negotiate with them. This is where I stand. We live in the greatest country in the world that was able to do something in 250 years that other countries couldn't do for 2,000 years. I mean, imagine how much of an underdog you have to be to start with 56 different people in 1776 and say, here's going to be our idea. And by the way, we're going to go against the big bad bully UK, and we're going to, find a way to create our own country. And they're trying to bully us as much as they can. And they were the financial capital of the world. But we're going to take over. And don't worry about China and Iran. And don't worry about Persia and USSR. Don't worry about all these. And all of a sudden, we are the most powerful country in the world, and creating incredible jobs and innovation where everybody around the world wants to come here. Nobody else calls it the American dream. There's no, Russian dream. There's no Chinese dream. There's no Iranian dream. There's no British dream. There's only the American dream. There's a reason for that. And unfortunately, sometimes, I just finished off with my last conference of my insurance company last week in Vegas at MGM Grand. And I sat there and I thought about a few of the guys that are super grateful. They're very wealthy now. They're living incredible lives. But there was a couple of them that weren't grateful.
Okay, so Patrick sums it up beautifully. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. I, of course, agree with Patrick. I think the free world needs to be completely intolerable of any sort of belief system that goes against democratic values. And so he has my vote for sure. I think we're definitely on the same page here. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Follow me, Rafi the Realtor, for all of your real estate needs in South Florida. And you can go ahead and support my work by going to the Buy Me a Coffee link in the pinned comment or description. Until next time, peace.